Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to talk about the story of the United States national debt. All right, and what does it mean for fiscal policies and economic growth? And not only that, but also the well-being of the middle class. So as of mid 2024, the US national debt has surged to nearly $35 trillion. Okay, so that is an amazing and insane amount of money. A figure that has been growing rapidly due to persistent budget deficits and significant government spending. I mean, this government won't stop spending money. This escalating debt poses a significant challenge to the nation's economic stability and has profound implications for the middle class. The national debt has increased steadily over the past decade, with interest expenses remaining relatively stable due to historic low interest rates. However, recent increases in interest rates and inflation have begun to drive up these costs. This growing debt burden is not just a financial concern, but a political and economic one as well. Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell has been vocal about the unsustainability of the current fiscal path, emphasizing the need for an adult conversation about managing the debt responsibly. Powell warns that the debt is growing faster than the economy, which could lead to borrowing from future generations and potentially trigger a fiscal crisis if we're not addressing this problem. All right, so we can't just keep going on like this, ignoring this problem, because it is going to come back and bite us in the ass. But however, Secretary of Treasury Janet Yellen, on the other hand, takes a more measured approach. Okay, she is basically focusing on the interest rate to GDP, adjusting for inflation as a key metric for assessing debt sustainability. According to Yellen, this measure has not yet reached alarming levels, suggesting that the debt burden is manageable under current economic conditions. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but do you guys really believe that? Do you feel like this is being managed? Do you feel like this is manageable? How do you guys feel about prices right now? Do you feel like the debt is being handled properly? I mean, look, the middle class, often considered to be the backbone of American economy, is particularly vulnerable to the implications of high national debt. The debt contributes to economic uncertainty and market volatility, which can lead to fewer job opportunities and stagnant wages. As government borrowing competes with private investment, interest rates may rise, making it more expensive for businesses to invest and for individuals to finance major purchases like homes or education. Now, this is why it's so significant recently that the Fed just cut the interest rates. Now, as we all know, home prices have not gone down, neither has many goods and services. So the Fed is not supposed to be political. All this rate cut is going to do is send home prices to the moon, heat up this economy some more, causing more inflation and prices to go even higher. I mean, for the Fed to really lower interest rate at this point right now is truly irresponsible. Okay, so this crowding effect can stifle economic growth and limit upward mobility for the middle class families. Rising interest rate payments on the debt also divert funds from essential public services and investment that could otherwise support middle class prosperity, such as education, infrastructure, and healthcare. It has become very popular for politicians and talking heads on TV to say this catchy phrase like, let's tax the rich. Okay. People advocating for this policy often vastly overstate the degree to which upper income tax increases can finance this ever expanding government. I mean, look what we're doing right now. War in Ukraine, war in the Middle East, spend, 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 spend. That's all this government does. So now think about this. Even if Washington taxes every dollar of income, okay, so any person that earns $1 million, let's just say we go for the $1 million threshold, the millionaires, okay, let's assume the government tax every dollar of that. I mean, also, in assuming that that group is going to continue to work, I mean, why would you continue to work if the government is going to tax every dollar that you make over $1 million? But let's just play along for a second. So let's just say the government does tax that. That would be an additional 3.8% of GDP collected. That would not even balance the long-term budget. All right. So, okay. So now let's move to the next category. So let's just say now we're going to go after the billionaires. Okay. If the government sees or tax, let's just say they seize it or they tax every dollar of wealth from America's billionaires, meaning every home, car, businesses, and investment, that would fund the federal government one time, okay? Just one time for just 9 months. All right. So, and the people advocating for this, I'm sure they mean well. They have good intentions. But however, they should keep this little nugget in mind. People with money don't spend it. They invest that money. It goes back into the economy. It goes back into the real estate. It goes back into the stock market. If you start taxing them and taking away their wealth, exactly what are you going to do with all that money? Redistribute it and give it to the poor and needy? Okay, fine. Let's just say we do that. Well, what you'll be doing more harm than good, because you'll be releasing a massive influx of capital into the economy, causing inflation and unemployment. Addressing the national debt requires a more nuanced approach that would balance fiscal responsibility with strategic investment and economic growth. Now, what does that mean? Well, that would include fiscal policies, let's just say, to implement measures that would support the middle class, like access to education, healthcare. People should not be going broke in America just because you have a medical emergency. From the perspective of good public policy, significant anti-poverty reforms are needed to encourage work and opportunity. Okay, emphasis on the word work and opportunity, not more government handouts. We need to do this, okay, before we have a revolution and a Marie Antoinette situation on our hands. For those of you who may not know who Marie Antoinette is, go ahead and Google her and see what happened to her. Okay, so ultimately, the story of the U.S. national debt is one of balancing immediate economic needs with long-term fiscal health. It involves navigating complex political landscapes and making difficult decisions to ensure a stable and prosperous future for all Americans. Without decisive action, all right, keyword decisive action, the middle class will continue to bear the brunt of this unsustainable debt burden, threaten not only individual families, but also the economic overall instability of the nation. All right, guys. Well, that is going to be all for today, guys. Please, if you find value in this video, please hit the like, hit the subscribe button, and thanks for watching, and I will see you soon.